covering local news that matters. This is CBS 17 News This Morning.
Good morning, everybody. It is Friday. We're so glad you're up with us. I'm Russ Bowen.
Yes, we made it to Friday. I'm Tanaya Wright. And for many college basketball fans around the Triangle, today is the real start of March Madness.
And vacation for a lot of people.
Yes.
I just feel like they're going to be checked out of everything but basketball.
They're done.
CBS 17 is your home for all things March Madness as Duke and Carolina both chase for the championship. But first 30 seconds to catch you up on stories making the big headlines today.
We're still all in some type of shock.
Prosecutors say Philip Brock reported his wife missing to cover his tracks.
This is the first case we've had like this in 50 years.
I wish she was here. They know that Hanya's getting these balloons up in heaven.
Thursday would have been Hanya's 14th birthday.
On CBS 17 this morning.
The tournament's top overall seed has a giant bullseye on its back. For these Blue Devils, that comes with the territory.
Business as usual. We're all kind of, focused.
We're extremely excited to get going. This is the place, to be, so it's going to be a lot of fun.
I'm glad the first game is at 7:10 or so here because there's no way I can make it to 9 o'clock.
No, I'm going to try. I think once you get up and you watch them, all the adrenaline will kick in and you'll just keep going.
I hope so.
Maybe not you, but I will. Paul, we know Paul will.
Paul is going to take a power nap today.
Yeah, and I'll probably doze off in front of the games this evening, but that's what March Madness is about. 12 consecutive, yeah, exactly, 12 straight hours of sports. Breezy weather all day today. Dry through the weekend. Dry weather today and tomorrow, and again on Sunday before the rain returns to the forecast early next week. Right now, temperatures are bad, very close to normal for this time of year. 42 in the Triangle, 45 degrees in Fayetteville, 46 in Rocky Mount is the warm location. A couple cooler spots, 41 Roanoke Rapids and Pinehurst. We're going to stay in the low 40s for the next hour or two, and then we'll start warming up quite a bit, actually. Upper 40s by noon, and upper 50s by noon, into the low 60s for highs this afternoon. The one flaw in today's forecast is that wind. It is going to be awfully breezy throughout the day. 15 to 25 mile an hour sustained winds, gusts over 30 miles an hour. We will take a look at the forecast into the weekend coming up in a few minutes. Right now, Erin is checking traffic.
Happy Friday, 6:01 right now. You're looking at I-40 at Harrison Avenue in Cary. We don't have any delays on 40 yet this morning. Hopefully it'll be a quiet day, a lot better than yesterday. Yesterday was pretty rough all around town, and a lot of that was because of the weather. And today we don't have those problems. So if you're heading east to Research Triangle Park, it's a dry commute, 10 minutes from 15501 to RTP on 40. On the Durham Freeway, 20 minutes to get from 85 to Research Triangle Park. And on 40 from Hillsborough, that will take you about 20 minutes. As you head east around Raleigh, 17 minutes from 64 to Glenwood there on 540. 8 minutes from New Bern Avenue to Wade Avenue on the Beltline. And on 40, 10 minutes from Highway 1 over to US 264. I'll have a check of some drive times as you head north and southbound into Raleigh, plus a check of your gas prices coming up a little bit later on in the show.
All right, some breaking news to get to right now as police are looking for gunmen at this moment.
They have been searching all night near Milburnie Road and Raleigh Boulevard. And as Aaron just mentioned, some roads in that area are still blocked this morning. CBS 17 Susanna Black is on the scene this morning for us. So, Susanna, are police telling you anything about the shooter?
No, police are not releasing any details about a suspect yet, but I can tell you we've been here for about the last hour, and this scene is starting to look a little bit different. You can see that crime scene tape is surrounding this one building. Police have removed the crime scene tape from other areas of the Milburnie Road apartments. They say that shots were fired just before midnight last night and that a man was hit. Now, his injuries are unknown, but I can tell you that the CCBI, the City County Bureau of Identification, has been on scene here this morning, so we are working to learn more about that man's injuries. And again, as far as the suspect, police are not releasing any details at this time, but we're going to stay here on scene, continue to monitor the situation, and we'll bring you updates right here. For now, reporting live, I'm Susanna Black, CBS 17 News.
Wow. Corner. Oh, bullseye! Fletcher McGee is not human.
Look at that. A big win for South Carolina's Wofford College last night in Jacksonville, Florida. The 7-seeded Terriers defeated 10th-seeded Seton Hall 84-68 Thursday in the Midwest Regional first round game.
People in Spartanburg are celebrating.
They are.
Senior guard Fletcher McGee became the NCAA's Division I all-time leader in career three-pointers. A huge win for a college that only has around 1,800 students.
That's amazing, thinking it's so small.
Yeah. So now the attention goes back here to North Carolina. Duke and UNC both locally ranked #1 in their regions, with Duke the #1 seed overall.
That's right. CBS 17's Aaron Anderson traveling with the Blue Devils and got a chance to watch the team's final practice before tonight's big game.
The hay is in the barn. The final workout is a wrap, and the next time we see the Duke Blue Devils here at Colonial Life Arena, it'll be tip-off time with North Dakota State. From the look of things, this team is ready. Duke hit the ground running in Columbia. The tournament's top overall seed has a giant bullseye on its back. For these Blue Devils, that comes with the territory.
Yeah, I think it's just business as usual. I mean, we're all kind of, focused. We're maturing every day, and we're going to keep taking it day by day.
With Zion Williamson back in the fold, Duke ran the table in the ACC tournament. That was an appetizer. The main course begins Friday with the Bison of North Dakota State.
You watch March Madness growing up as a little kid, and you say you want to be a part of it, but to actually be a part of it and to be like the #1 seed is, I mean, I couldn't ask for much more.
This is, every young kid's dream. Everybody that wants to play basketball at a high level, this is the place, to be. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
Devils are an overwhelming favorite, but they are not overconfident. They don't want to join the Who's, who got sent packing by a 16 seed last year.
We've been upset in the first round. I have personal experience, and anything can happen in the tournament.
I mean, I've no doubt that all the guys will step up because, I feel like as a group overall, we just love these big stages.
Marquise Bolden will play today versus NDSU. However, Jack White has been ruled out with a hamstring. Don't forget, you can only catch this game right here on the Big 1-7. It tips off tonight at 7:10. Reporting from Columbia, South Carolina, I'm Aaron Anderson.
And CBS 17's Jeff Jones traveling with the Tar Heels. He's in Columbus, Ohio for tonight's game. We'll hear from him coming up in the next half hour.
And round one continues on CBS 17 starting at noon. You can catch us back here at 10 a.m. for your midday news update. Don't forget, you can catch our digital sports updates at noon and at 6:30 only on CBS17.com, as well as our mobile news app.
And Jeff Jones and Aaron Anderson traveling with the local teams. You'll see Duke take on North Dakota State right here on CBS 17. That starts around 7 o'clock tonight.
In this morning's crime alert, a reminder for everyone to make sure you lock your car doors every time you get out of them. Creedmoor police are now investigating several break-ins that happened at Golden Pond and Southerby subdivisions. Now, police say those suspects were caught on camera in a silver or gold 4-door Honda Accord. You can see it right here on your screen. If you live in that area, police want to make sure you check your car right now to see if anything is missing from inside. Of course, if you have any information on this case, you're asked to call police. We've got that number to Crime Stoppers on your screen. You can call it right here. It's on your screen. And we also have this number on our website, CBS17.com.
Tomorrow, Sheila Price, the mother of Rhonda Jones, will march to the Lumberton Police Department to raise awareness about unsolved crimes in the city, including her own daughter's murder. Price is the organizer behind the group Shatter the Silence, and she told me she wanted to do this march even more so after I reported that the rape kits for her daughter, Kristen Bennett, and Megan Oxendine sat on the shelf at Lumberton PD for nearly 2 years before finally being sent off to the state for testing. Tomorrow's march set for 3 p.m. They are meeting at 203 East 24th Street in Lumberton. And for months now, I've been collecting new information about the deaths of all these women. You can find a link to my podcast, 32 Degrees, at CBS17.com. You can also download it on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, and Spotify. There are 5 episodes posted so far with extras and a new episode coming out soon.
Looking ahead, Hope County Animal Control is going to hold a rabies vaccination clinic tomorrow. This is going to be from 9 a.m. until noon. It will provide vaccinations for dogs and cats for $10 per animal. It's going to take place at the Animal Control on Steel Road in Rayford. This comes as a 13-year-old girl continues to get treatment after being bitten by a rabid cat. That happened this past Sunday. All right, well, today is National Puppy Day, and we are celebrating with some of our favorite pups. And of course, Dagny the dog is going to be here starting at 6:30. So in about 20 minutes, we get to see Dagny.
Dagny's live. The rest of our doggies are just getting
photos.
their picture made. Well, if you want to celebrate National Puppy Day, here are some ideas. Adopt a dog from a local shelter, buy your pup a new toy or treat, and make a donation to a local shelter, or you can just volunteer. They can always use more people to walk those dogs.
And our 3-degree guarantee charity of the month is a dog rescue group, Diamonds in the Rough in Goldsboro. I was down there earlier this week, and you can see their story here on CBS 17 next week. For now, if you're heading out for a dog walk, this is actually the best time of day to do it, even though it's still dark outside. The wind is already starting to pick up, rippling the flag in downtown Apex, and it's going to be just windy later on today. 15 to 25 mile an hour sustained winds. Temperatures aren't bad. It's 43 right now in Apex, 42 in the Triangle officially. The camera shaking around just a little bit on the tower outside our studios here. Other temperatures are mostly in the 40s as well. 41 in Durham now, also 41 in Roxborough and Roanoke Rapids. 46 in Rocky Mountain, 47 in Goldsboro are the warm spot. You're right behind at Fayetteville at 45 degrees. Same temperature in Benson and Clayton. We'll stay pretty much steady for the next couple of hours, but we will warm up to the mid-40s by 9 a.m. Lots of sunshine. Just a few fair weather clouds by this afternoon, with temperatures reaching up to the upper 50s by noon and then low 60s this afternoon. That's pretty close to normal for this time of year. Average high is 65 degrees. We'll be close enough to that. You will hit 65 degrees in Fayetteville, but that wind will make it feel cooler. So at least a sweatshirt, if not a windbreaker, and maybe something to cover your ears if you're a little sensitive to that. You're definitely going to need all that this afternoon. The wind calms down tonight, so temperatures drop off down to the mid-30s early tomorrow morning. 60 for a high tomorrow, 67 degrees on Sunday after a cold start in the morning. We will take a look at the marathon forecast for Fort Bragg. Sunday morning, the marathon starts at 7 a.m. It's going to be chilly out there, obviously, to start, but we'll track temperatures as we head through Sunday morning, coming up in just a few minutes.
Chilly is better than the rain we had yesterday for a marathon.
Yeah. And
or just us in general.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm not going to give away Paul's forecast, but I think runners will be happy with it. Yes. Most of them.
I got to note something I just noticed.
What?
Does your fiance know the color of your nails? They're kind of Carolina blue.
No, this is periwinkle purple.
Whatever, that's Carolina blue. Andrew,
it's not.
Andrew, you better talk to her.
This is not Carolina blue.
We're cheering on our teams. We have all our blue today.
This is periwinkle. I'm just saying.
Okay.
You would definitely not even notice something like that.
No, I doubt he would. Sean wouldn't notice anything.
Leave it to me.
You wouldn't even notice if I lost a finger.
Okay.
Well, gas prices. Let's go to that.
Let's switch gears, talk about something else. Gas prices this morning, very similar to yesterday. Haven't seen any major changes in the prices this week. Right now, I found gas for $2.30 in Raleigh. That's the cheapest I could find. That's at the Murphy USA on New Hope Road. In Durham, I found it for $2.41. That's at the Barco station on Guess Road. And in Fayetteville, I found it for $2.38. That's at the Walmart at Rayford Road. And as always, if you know of gas that's cheaper than what I'm letting you guys know, let me know. That way I can update the graphic, keep everyone informed. Traffic this morning has been moving along okay. This is 40 at Harrison Avenue. No problems there. All green lights on our eastbound drive times. 16 minutes from 64 to Glenwood on 540 and 10 minutes from Highway 1 to 264 on 40. A few accidents to talk about. The one downtown on Milburn Road is some police activity. Nothing closed in that area, but I would still avoid it. We also have an accident on Newbern Avenue at Treywick Road, then another one right nearby on New Hope Road at Global Street. Tanaya.
All right, thank you, Aaron. Time right now is 6:12 on this Friday morning. CBS 17 just getting started this Friday morning. We will have much more on today's top stories. And of course, March Madness coming up. But as we head to break, look at this. This is Aaron's dog, Ollie, all snuggled up. And if you're wondering, 71% of pet owners say they would rather snuggle with their dog or cat than their significant other. We'll have to take a poll in this studio.
Some breaking news we're covering right now. 2 American service members have been killed in Afghanistan. The Americans died while conducting an operation. The statement from the military does not say the exact location of the combat, who the soldiers were fighting, or where they are based. We're working to find out more. We'll let you know on the air and, of course, through our CBS 17 mobile news app and our other social media platforms.
Some more breaking news right now. Raleigh police on the scene of a shooting on Milburnie Road. This is a live look from the scene. Officers tell us they found a man there shot. Crews took that person to the hospital. As of right now, there is no word on the victim's name or their condition. Police are still searching for the gunman this morning. We have our crew on the scene. Our Susanna Black is there, and we'll have another update from her coming up in about 15 minutes.
And I have an update on the traffic in that area downtown. Right now, no roads are closed, but it's always a good idea just to avoid the area in a situation like this. So instead of taking Milburnie Road, you can take Lascock Street. That runs in both directions parallel to Milburnie. That's what I would suggest. The incident's occurring right at Milburnie Road at Gibney Drive. So good idea to avoid that area. As far as other accidents go, we have one on New Bern Avenue, westbound side at Treywick Road, but no delays yet because of it. The other one is right nearby. It's on New Hope Road at Global Street. And then in the Apex area, one on the 540 Toll Road northbound at 55, and that's right in the Feltonville area. But even though we have a few accidents beginning to pop up, we don't have any major delays this morning. So overall, you know, things are looking pretty good. We have all green lights if you are heading westbound around Raleigh. 16 minutes from 64 to Glenwood on 540 and about 11 minutes from the Clayton bypass to US 1 on 40. So
and unlike yesterday morning,
way better than yesterday.
It's dry.
Yes.
And it's going to stay dry today and over the weekend. So good news.
Nice weather.
Delivered just in time for the weekend. It's
I
just
know.
going to be awfully windy today. Let's take a look at what's happening right now. We're looking outside from Chapel Hill, Kingdom Memorial Stadium. Looking good. 43 degrees. That's not bad for late March. It's not bad for any point in March. Lots of moonlight over NC State's campus. The almost full moon, it was a couple nights ago, still shining down there. 42 degrees the temperature, and that's the official reading in Raleigh as well. 41 in Durham, tied for the cool spot with Sanford, Pinehurst, Roxborough, and Roanoke Rapids. Warm locations, 46 degrees now in Rocky Mount. Bunch of spots in the mid-40s to the south and southeast of the Triangle, but all of these temperatures are almost exactly normal for this time of year. We're going to stay here for the next couple of hours. The winds are going to start to pick up. Lots of sunshine once the sun peaks over the horizon in less than an hour. It'll be warmer by noon, upper 50s, but it's going to be breezy. The winds really pick up this afternoon, sustained around 20 miles an hour, and that's enough to move you around to the road, especially when it gusts up to 30 to 35 miles an hour. That's what we're going to have to deal with this afternoon. Temperature still above 60 degrees by 6 o'clock this evening, but it's still going to be breezy. Just a few fair weather clouds throughout the day. A little warmer the farther south you go. Should hit the mid-60s around Fayetteville into the Sand Hills and the southern coastal plain. Should also reach the mid-60s, right around 60 for the northern coastal plain. A little cloud cover trying to sneak in from the northeast is going to keep temperatures a few degrees cooler along the Virginia state line. But again, all in all, these temperatures just a couple degrees below normal for late March. And it's looking like a nice weekend as well. Chilly mornings, but then mild afternoons. How chilly? Well, starting off around freezing early Sunday morning. That'll be a factor for the start of the All-American Marathon on Fort Bragg Sunday morning. But temperatures warm up by leaps and bounds every hour Sunday morning. So by the time the 4-hour marathon pace finishers are wrapping up, temperatures will be up into the mid-50s. In Cumberland County, you're going to get up to around 70 degrees by Sunday afternoon. We'll reach the mid to upper 60s in the Triangle before that next chance of rain heads our way. Not during the day Sunday. Could see a few showers Sunday night into early Monday. I think this first wave of moisture will probably evaporate on the way through. More likely that we're going to see rain by late Monday, continuing Monday night, and still lingering as the sun comes up on Tuesday, even once it moves out. I think the clouds are going to be tough to shake on Tuesday. One of those gray, cool, generally damp days. So enjoy the dry weather while it's here for the next few days. Just breezy today, nice weather over the weekend. Again, chilly temperatures in the morning. Just layer up, and you can gradually get rid of those layers as we head through the rest of the day. Next chance of rain does arrive on Monday, lingers into Tuesday, then we dry out again as we try to warm back up from that cool day on Tuesday, back to the low 60s by next Thursday.
Thank you, Paul. Well, March Madness officially underway. The first day had a lot of great games and a lot of upsets.
Yes, and both Duke and Carolina take the court tonight, and fans will pack local restaurants to cheer on their teams.
Yes, they will. We went road tripping to Chapel Hill to check out a funky place to cheer on the Tar Heels.
We just made the trip down Tobacco Road, and now we're in Chapel Hill.
We're going to check out Al's for some burgers.
Good food. It's kind of kind of a funky little joint?
It's definitely because Al's has the best burgers in town, and Al himself is like a really cool guy. It's always a fun place to be.
The environment here is so fun. Everyone's talking to each other, hanging out like a big group of friends.
The staff seems to really love just working here and being here. Al's here, and I like how he described this place. He said it's really funky, and it definitely is really funky.
You start with a lot of love, and then you add some really good beef, a really good product, and you leave it alone. You let it speak for itself.
The burgers are delicious. We ate them in about 30 seconds.
Literally, they were gone as soon as they came.
Always excited for March Madness. I'm a Tar Heel fan, so we seem to do well in March. Y'all come see us at this funky little shack.
More of our road trip and adventures on our website, CBS17.com, or any of our social media pages. And if you're hungry right now, you cannot even imagine how good everything was there. And there was a line out the door. We walked up.
And something to keep in mind, the line was out the door and the weather was terrible.
Yes.
So the line was long even in bad weather.
It's crazy.
Gosh, I want that.
Yes.
We'll be right back.
Ten 987654321. 10 987654321.
Good morning. Nike stock rebounded after that massive blowout with Zion Williamson during the first round of the Battle of the Blues.
That's right, but now the shoemaker's stock hit a bit of a slump. All right, CBS's Diane King Hall joins us live from the floor of the New York Stock Exchange. Good morning, Diane.
Good morning, Russ and Tanaya. Yeah, I remember that shoe blowout was wild and the effect it had on the stock. You want to keep an eye on shares of Nike again today. The stock lost its footing in after-hours trading, so it could take a hit today. And this after hitting a record high yesterday. Sports apparel giant did earn more than $1 billion in its fiscal third quarter. That beat estimates, but the company raised concerns with cautious revenue guidance. So we're talking about future sales there. A bill making it easier for women to access birth control is moving forward in Iowa. The plan allows women to bypass a doctor and go straight to the pharmacist for contraceptives. A similar bill will be introduced in the Senate next week, where women would be able to access contraceptives on a national level. The Iowa bill still needs to be approved by state lawmakers. Another privacy problem for Facebook. Hundreds of millions of user passwords have been exposed to Facebook employees. The company revealed it in a blog post, saying it discovered the issue in January. The site says this includes Facebook and Instagram users. However, no passwords were exposed externally. Facebook also claims it has not found evidence of the information being abused. The company says it will notify affected users. And of course, this latest privacy breakdown comes just days after the anniversary of the Cambridge Analytica scandal. Tanaya and Russ?
Another reason to keep changing those passcodes.
Yes.
Diane King Hall, have a great weekend watching basketball, my friend.
And Paul, your friend's here now.
Yes, our usual Friday morning friend is now in the studio. It's National Puppy Day. She is no longer a puppy. She's coming up on her 8th birthday, but you can imagine she was an adorable little puppy because she's a good-looking dog. This is what we do every Friday because, hey, it's Friday. How do you make Fridays better? You bring a dog into work. And the weather's looking pretty good if you don't mind some breezy conditions today. We'll get into the details of the weekend forecast coming up on CBS 17. Good girl.
And now, your forecast first from the CBS 17 Storm Team.
Good morning. It is 6:29 now on this Friday morning. It's National Puppy Day, but we do this every Friday. My dog, Dagny the dog, our weather dog, joining us in studio to just bring a little bit of extra doggy joy to our lives this morning. And as if dry weather wasn't enough, hey, bring a dog in and see if we can disperse some dander around the studio to go along with the pollen that's in the air. Don't worry, it's not your fault. Let's take a look at the weather headlines for this Friday morning. We'll step over to the big board here and take a look at that. It's going to be breezy. That's what's going to disperse that pollen all across central North Carolina. That's how I feel about it, too. Dry weather through the weekend. Good news there. trip to the dog park in store for this one. Rain on the way again early next week. Temperatures right now, not bad. We just stepped outdoors to take care of some important puppy business. Low to mid 40s for readings right now, mostly the lower half of the 40s, but slightly warmer as you look farther south and east. 45 in Fayetteville right now, 42 in Raleigh, 41 degrees in Durham. We'll stay here for the next hour or two, then we'll start to warm up. We'll be up into the upper 50s by noon, low 60s for highs this afternoon. We'll have more dog and we'll have more weather. A detailed look at that weekend forecast coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, Paul, thanks for that. Well, for the second time in 3 years on the same stretch of road, a student is now dead after he was hit by a car.
A car hit 18-year-old Gustavo Alexis Armenta Valadez as he crossed Lombard Street in Clayton. The driver, who's not going to be charged, stayed at the scene while paramedics tried to revive that teen. A 12-year-old boy died back in December of 2015 when a car struck him less than a quarter mile from yesterday's crash. Both students killed lived in the Alta Mobile Home Park. Well, right here, you might remember this image from Hurricane Florence. Wilmington fire crews praying after a mother and her infant were killed when a tree slammed on their home.
It was absolutely heartbreaking. I remember like it was yesterday. 6 months later, the city honored those first responders. The Wilmington fire chief says they answer calls similar to this often, but this one involved a lot of challenges, including those hurricane-force winds. The Lower Cape Fear chapter of the Sons of the American Revolution honored the men and women with certificates and medals for their extraordinary heroic actions. North Carolina schools are getting a failing grade when it comes to water quality. Now, our lawmakers are trying to fix that.
They're trying to fix this to the tune of $8 million. Our Angela Taylor digging deeper this morning into a new report in the effort to make your children's water safer.
It was eliminated from our gas in 1976 and taken out of paint 2 years later, but lead is still showing up in some of our schools. According to the study by Environment America, North Carolina and 21 other states have unsafe levels of lead in their school drinking water. House Bill 386 aims to change those statistics by testing schools statewide and dedicating at least $8 million for a fix. Now, we asked if that would be enough to monitor problems in thousands of schools statewide, and the answer is easier than you think.
Sometimes all it takes is installing a filter or moving a fixture or flushing water for longer or using cold water.
Wake County hasn't had a school fail a lead test in at least 3 years. They currently leave testing up to public works departments in each community. We have the breakdown of those results in Wake, Durham, and Orange counties right now in our story on CBS17.com. Back to you.
Thank you, Angela. By getting answers, GoFundMe is taking action after our reports focusing on a man accused of raising money to help veterans, but he actually kept that money for himself.
Holly Springs police arrested Daniel James right there earlier this month. A woman working with him told investigators they would ask people to donate to the Hate It Home for Veterans. The search warrant says the woman claims she never saw any veterans come to his home in Raleigh. HateIt.com is a website, but not a charity. A GoFundMe campaign from last summer also raised money for the home after it went into foreclosure. After CBS 17 contacted GoFundMe, the organization stopped that campaign and said it will refund all donors.
6:33 right now on this Friday morning. Here's 3 things you need to know before you head out the door. First up, it has now been 1 week since a gunman killed 50 worshippers at a pair of mosques in New Zealand. Today, the country is remembering those victims with 2 minutes of silence following the Muslim call to prayer.
The UK has more time to come to an agreement concerning its withdrawal from the European Union. Brexit was scheduled to happen next week. The EU agreed to postpone that until May 22nd, as long as Parliament signs off with the withdrawal deal negotiated by Prime Minister Theresa May. Otherwise, April 12th would be the new Brexit date. Well, a facility dedicated to developing gene and cell therapies for genetic diseases and cancer will hold a ribbon-cutting ceremony today, and this is in Durham.
Governor Cooper was going to speak at Bluebird Bio's groundbreaking ceremony for its 125,000 square foot building. This is right off TW Alexander Drive.
Good morning, everyone, and happy Friday. Things are looking great on 40 at 540. Getting a little bit busier as we speak, but overall, I'm not seeing any big delays. We still have all green drive times, which is what we like to see. 21 minutes to get from 64 to RTP on 540. On the Triangle Expressway, 16 minutes from Highway 1 over to RTP. Eastbound, same thing, green light on 40 east from Durham or from Hillsborough. Then if you're taking the Durham Freeway, it will take you about 21 minutes to get from 85 over to Research Triangle Park. Here's another look outside. Breeze picking up a little bit in this area. This is Edwards Mill Road at Durley Road. We got the trees shaking on that camera. And we have 2 accidents to talk about as well. Neither one of them causing delays. We also still have police activity downtown on Milburn Road, so heads up there. I would still avoid that area if you can. But the 2 accidents on New Bern Avenue, one on the westbound side at Trawick Road, the other one right nearby on New Hope Road at the intersection of New Bern Avenue. Tanaya.
Thank you, Aaron. Starting today, Hall of Fame baseball legends are going to be on display in Fayetteville to celebrate the city's new stadium.
Babe Ruth, Jackie Robinson, Satchel Paige, and many more on display at the Arts Council. Organizers say those pictures came directly from the National Hall of Fame. The Arts Council teamed up with the Fayetteville Woodpeckers to get them here just in time for opening day and the brand new stadium on April 18th. The exhibit runs through May 11th, and don't forget, CBS 17 is a television partner with the Woodpeckers.
Yes, we are. I'm sure that's going to be very popular. Time right now is 6:35. Coming up.
He was very distraught. He was crying. He would make you cry.
And apparently he was faking it. The man who reported his wife missing, now accused of her murder. Still to come, now investigators said they cracked this case.
Mic checking, mic checking, mic checking. Michael's messing with something to fix something. I don't know, mic checking. Okay.
.38 on this early Friday morning. We do this every Friday. Bring my dog into the studio because everybody just likes to have a Friday get even better. And hopefully this helps. They haven't told me otherwise. If it doesn't, how could it not get better? Look at that smile. Today is National Puppy Day. You'll see pictures of other dogs coming up in just a second. First, let's talk about the weather. It's going to be breezy out there. I'll step over to the big board and we'll take a look at the consequence of that breeze. The flag is whipping in the wind already in South Hill. 43 degrees the temperature there. Not bad. 42 in the Triangle. Skies are brightening. We're less than an hour away from sunrise. In fact, about just over a half hour away from the sun peeking over the horizon. We will see plenty of it throughout the morning. Grab the sunglasses. Just a few fair weather clouds this afternoon. Windbreaker, not a bad bad idea. A light jacket for the cool temperatures this morning and for the fact that it is going to be breezy throughout the day, especially from midday into the afternoon. Plenty of sunshine, though. Temperatures will bounce up to the mid-40s by 9 o'clock, well into the 50s by noon, and then low 60s this afternoon. Average high temperature for today is 65 degrees. We'll end up just below that. It's not really going to feel like 63, though. Even with the sunshine overhead, that wind from the west is going to be really strong. 15 to 25 mile an hour sustained winds with gusts up to around 35 miles an hour. That's not quite high enough for a wind advisory, but it is enough to move you around on the road against your will. So keep both hands on the wheel today. You should do that every day, but especially on a day like today. Temperatures drop tonight as the wind dies down. Mid-30s tomorrow morning, up to 60 though in the afternoon. Abundant sunshine helping us recover from that chilly start. It'll be cold Sunday morning, 30 degrees to start the day, but a huge warm up on Sunday. Anytime you warm up by more than 30 degrees, that's saying something. We're going to warm up by 37 degrees from the morning to the afternoon. Winds turning to the southwest, and that'll help to boost the temperatures. Warm to start the next work week, but also a good chance of rain headed our way early next week. We'll talk about that coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, time right now, 6:40 and a half. We have 24 Fort Bragg paratroopers, an anniversary today. Were killed, 100 were hurt. Later, how the victims of the Green Ramp disaster will be remembered.
Plus this.
His demeanor is just as it is in the courtroom, just very easygoing, very soft-spoken, no real emotions at all.
A Nash County man accused of killing his wife and taking off is coming back to our area today. Next, the new information court documents reveal about how investigators found him. Susanna.
Another shooting in Raleigh, this time at an apartment complex. I'm Susanna Black with what we know coming up next.
breaking news from CBS 17 News.
That breaking news right now, authorities are on the scene of a shooting in Raleigh.
CBS 17 Susanna Black is at the scene on Milburnie Road with the information she's learning now. Susanna.
Well, good morning. The scene here has really shifted since we first arrived a couple of hours ago. At first, Raleigh police had this entire apartment complex blocked off, but now you can see they have narrowed that down to just this building. This is really where they seem to be focusing, and they've been out here since just before midnight. That's when they say shots were fired here at the Milburnie Road apartment complex, and they have told us that a man was shot. He was taken to Wake Med. We do not know the extent of his injuries, but I can tell you that CCBI, the City County Bureau of Identification, was on scene here earlier this morning, so we are still working to learn more about that man and the extent of his injuries. Now, as far as the suspect, police have not released any information, but we are going to continue to work, and we'll bring you details right here. For now, reporting live, I'm Susanna Black, CBS 17 News.
All right, Susanna, thanks for that update. Well, about 4 hours before that very shooting, Raleigh police say they found a man shot in the parking lot of an apartment complex in a separate shooting. That incident happened around 7:30 last night on Camden Street near East Martin, downtown. Crews took that victim to the hospital as well. No word on his name or condition either. And in this case, police still searching for the suspect. A Nash County man heading back to North Carolina today to face a first-degree murder charge in connection with the death of his own wife.
Lynn Keel appeared in an Arizona courtroom where he waived his extradition hearing. According to court documents, a license plate reader picked up Keel's truck. He was in custody just 18 minutes after that. He was found with a knife, camping gear, and a cooler. His wife, Diana, disappeared 2 weeks ago. Her body was found in Leggett just 4 days after that. Now, Sheriff Keith Stone went to Arizona to get him.
I can't say what he was going to do, but I know he had no intentions of coming back to Nash County. So where he was going, I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know what he was doing. I don't know what his motive is.
Keel is expected to arrive in Nash County later today. The sheriff says they have started looking into the death of his first wife, Bess. Her death was ruled an accident. You can keep up with Keel's journey right back here to North Carolina with us. All you have to do is download the CBS 17 mobile news app and turn on your notifications. Well, we have some new details this morning after a woman's body was found in Sampson County just days after a silver alert was issued for her.
Yeah, very similar case, just like the previous one. Her husband appeared in court, also accused of killing her. Judy and Philip Brock lived in Holden Beach. Police say this is the first murder in that town in 50 years. Prosecutors believe Brock reported his wife missing last week to throw off investigators. Holden Beach police say Brock disabled the GPS on his phone and tried to do the same on his Ford F-150.
We were able to use GPS to help track the vehicle, which placed him in Sampson County, and then he drove back to Holden Beach where he reported his wife missing.
Judy Brock's body was found Wednesday night in a wooded area in Sampson County. Philip Brock is being held without bond in the Brunswick County Jail. His next court appearance scheduled for April the 2nd. Well, 25 years ago, 24 paratroopers died at Fort Bragg.
The Green Ramp disaster marks one of the greatest loss of life in a single day for the 82nd Airborne Division and is considered one of the worst accidents in military history. Today, a memorial service takes place for those fallen paratroopers. In 1994, pilots ejected from an F-16 and then that jet hit another aircraft on the ground. 55,000 gallons of fuel caused an explosion, and live rounds caused shrapnel and bullets to hit a group that was training nearby. The victims' age ranged from 19 to 39. Another sad story this morning. Friends, family, and community leaders gathered to remember Hanya Aguilar on what would have been her 14th birthday.
The Lumberton teenager was found dead last fall after she was kidnapped from her front yard. Dozens filled Luther Britt Park in Lumberton to honor Hanya with cake, cards, a balloon release. Lumberton police also presented Hanya's mother with a card and a portrait of her daughter. While she says the last few months have been tough on her family, she continues to stand up for her child and is thankful for all those around her.
Creo que es las personas, el apoyo de las personas. I believe the support of all the people. Desde el principio me apoyaron mucho. From the beginning, everybody support. Y me siguen apoyando. And they keep supporting me de diferentes maneras. In different ways. Primero Dios me hace fuerte. God makes me strong. Luego saber que mi comunidad está conmigo. And then knowing that my community is with me.
Lots of people, as you can see right there, wearing Hanya's favorite color, which is purple. Organizers say they plan on getting back together to celebrate Hanya's 16th birthday in another 2 years. And the community stepped up to help an 80-year-old man who lost his wife, and his home to a fire in Wendell.
That's right. This right here is Leonard Winston. He relies on oxygen and has been staying with his daughter. His neighbor, Vicki Watkins, posted his story on Facebook asking anyone if they could help. Well, since then, someone has helped. They have donated an old trailer, and another person has offered to pay thousands of dollars to move it. Others have been volunteering to help clear up all that debris. You can see it right there on your screen. No one wanted to speak on camera, but they did say they were just glad to help him out. Winston also says he is incredibly grateful. All right, the NCAA tournament ramps up today with both Duke and Carolina hitting the courts.
CBS 17's Jeff Jones in Columbus with the Tar Heels and how they are looking to prepare for their big game.
Well, welcome to Columbus, Ohio, the site of UNC's first and second round matchups in the NCAA tournament this year. And if you pick the Tar Heels to go all the way and win a national championship in 2019, well, you are not alone. On Thursday, we found out that Governor Roy Cooper also picked the Tar Heels to go all the way, which shouldn't be that big of a surprise since he is a UNC grad. If the governor's prediction is correct, well, Carolina's magical run started on Thursday afternoon when they stepped foot on the practice court for the first time inside of Nationwide Arena. During that practice, we saw stretching, shooting, and plenty of smiles. What we did not see was a lot of stress. The guys on this year's Tar Heels team tell me it is as important to be locked in and focused as it is to remember two words: have fun.
You know, I think it's good to have a little new enthusiasm. Sometimes I call it youthful exuberance. I think it's good to have that on your team and not just be, oh, we've done this before kind of thing. But also, I like the old guys to understand how lucky we are that you're still doing it.
You know, there's some anxiety, there's some stress, but we're all blessed to be in the situation. And you just got, think about how many people are out there, wanting to play in March Madness and wanting to be in the situation we're in. So when you think about it that way, all the times you dreamed about being here, playing in this tournament, you got to have fun. You got to embrace it, and you got to try to make the most of it.
Well, making the most out of these next 3.5 weeks could be a championship recipe for Carolina. We'll figure out if they can pull off a first-round win over 16-seed Iona when they tip things off Friday night around 9:20. Reporting from Columbus, Ohio for the NCAA tournament, Jeff Jones, CBS 17.
And UNC's Tobacco Road rivals, the Duke Blue Devils, will also take the court tonight. Right now, they're in Columbia to face North Dakota State University. You can watch that game right here on CBS 17 at 7:10. Our Arn Anderson is traveling with Duke and will have live reports throughout the day.
Right now, astronauts aboard the International Space Station, including NC State grad Christina Cook. There she is. This is so cool. Hello, hello. She probably can't hear us clearly. Well, they're preparing for a spacewalk. The mission is set to start just after 8 this morning and will last more than 6 hours. Now, Cook, who you see there, won't actually take part in today's spacewalk, but she will be part of next week's, which is the first ever all-female spacewalk. Congratulations to her. That's so cool that we get to see her. Look at her heart at work.
Gosh.
Go NC State.
I feel like, I've accomplished nothing.
I love the weightless ponytail, too.
She's up there.
A great look.
We're hanging out with Dagny.
Hey, yeah, it's
just
Good Friday
awesome
for everybody.
Look
this
at
is
her.
Our usual Friday routine. Today is National Puppy Day, but every Friday is Puppy Day here at CBS 17.
And we appreciate it, Paul.
Yeah, the fur.
Hi, pretty.
Is just flying everywhere.
Look at that tail wagging.
Oh, I know. Let's check out the dog walking
She's
forecast
posing now.
in just a second. Oh, yeah, she knows what to do. She's done this before. We'll start with the pollen count. That's going to be a problem as we head into the weekend. Back into the high category today. Yesterday's rain washed some pollen out of the air, but the wind is going to be strong enough today to just disperse that pollen back across central North Carolina and into the lungs of its residents, so be prepared for it. Right now, it's not bad out there. We're going to see plenty of sunshine in, well, less than 30 minutes. The sun comes up at 7:16 this morning. 45 degrees in Goldsboro, 42 right now from Carter Finley Stadium. Just a beautiful sunrise in progress, and we're going to see that sunshine fully throughout the morning. Just a few fair weather clouds this afternoon. Not too much variation in our temperatures. Low to mid 40s around the Triangle. 40 on the nose right now in Creedmoor. Also 40 degrees to the southwest in Sanford. 42 Raleigh, 41 Durham, 43 in Chapel Hill. We pan farther south, more mid 40s around Cumberland County. All of these temperatures very close to what's normal for mid to late March, and our high temperatures will end up pretty close to normal as well. It's just going to be awfully breezy throughout the day. Our dog of the day, other than Dagny the dog, is Gizmo. Thank you to Gizmo's human, Patricia, for sharing that picture with us. I think those shamrocks might blow away today, though, because it's going to be awfully windy, especially from midday through the afternoon. 15 to 25 mile an hour sustained winds, gusts up to 35 miles an hour. But temperatures won't be a problem. Up into the low 60s this afternoon, just a few fair weather clouds, and no rain in the forecast today. No rain in the forecast for the weekend either. The next chance of rain doesn't roll our way until Monday. Hour by hour temperatures today warming up. We'll be well into the 50s by lunchtime. It's not going to be a day to have lunch outside, though. It's going to be just too windy for that. Temperatures up into the 60s for most of us this afternoon. You might have to struggle a bit more farther north, up to around 60 degrees for our Virginia state line locations. Temperatures tomorrow should be a little chilly in the morning, but we will warm up, and it won't be as windy tomorrow. Trash day is today for you, or recycling day is today. Well, it may end up getting relocated by that strong wind. The wind probably not strong enough to push it all the way down the block, but maybe into the neighbor's yard. It's going to be, yeah, that breezy. Both hands on the wheel as well as you're making your way out and about. Temperatures tonight drop down to the mid-30s. We warm back up to around 60 tomorrow. A little on the cool side for late March, but not bad. Up into the mid to upper 60s on Sunday after a cold start in the morning. We will really warm all the way up into the mid to upper 60s. That 30-degree temperature in the morning, though, is going to be a little startling to start the day. Up to 70 on Monday before that good chance of rain arrives. That's going to continue Monday night and linger Tuesday. A big old 20-degree drop from Monday into Tuesday. I know. That's how I feel about it, too, Dagny. Back into the mid-50s on Wednesday and low 60s on Thursday. Eventually, spring will just stay.
Oh, yeah. And then it will get hot very quickly.
Well, yeah.
So.
Spring might happen on a weekend. And then it'll just be summer.
Exactly. Well, it is Puppy Day, so we're happy to have Dagny here.
And we've been sharing pictures of Ollie and Cobalt and
everyone's puppy.
Yes.
They're not here live, but they're still here in spirit.
Oh, she wanted to sit up.
Yeah. Oh, she wants to do paw. Oh, my goodness. I love you, too.
That's so cool.
All right. Time to talk a little bit about
untrained.
traffic before our show ends. Right now it's 6:56, and traffic's picking up a little bit. This is 440 at Wade Avenue. We don't have any delays here, but there's just more higher volume of traffic in those busier spots. Most of our drive times still look like this in the green, which is what we like to see. 21 minutes to get from 64 to RTP on 540 and 17 minutes from Highway 1 to RTP on the Triangle Expressway. We've got a few accidents to talk about. This one on the Leesville Road at Strickland Road, heads up there. Another one on US 1 right near Lois Lane, and there is some traffic because of this one on US 1 southbound. So if you take that to head towards Raleigh, you may want to give yourself some extra time or possibly take Falls of Noose Road. And then last but not least, we still have that accident on New Hope Road at New Bern Avenue. Hasn't been cleared yet.
Thank you, Aaron. Well, forget the Cadbury Bunny. This is the Cadbury Bulldog, Henry.
That's right. And get this, the English Bulldog is actually from Wilmington, North Carolina. The canine competed against thousands of other animals in the company's first ever bunny tryouts. He's going to actually star in the commercial next month. His owner won $5,000 too. How adorable.
What?
And speaking of adorable,
look
who's
at
that
this
adorable
guy.
Man?
It is Paul's birthday. You can thank Rachel for sending us those photos.
Yeah, I'll thank her for that, all right.
I'll thank her, all right.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
situation.
It's one way to put off handcuffs.
Yeah, exactly. It's making us laugh this morning. Welcome to CBS This Morning. Nora and John are off, so Anthony Mason and David Begnaud are with us again. Good morning.
Morning.
And we begin with breaking news in Afghanistan, where U.S. forces say 2 Americans were killed during a military operation early today. The service members are the latest casualties of the longest war in American history.